Hi, this is DeSantis from Ableton. In this short movie, I'm going to walk you through how I made a track using sounds from the Puremagnetik Retro Synths library. Retro Synths is a live pack that combines over 4,000 samples of iconic hardware synthesizers with Live's audio effects. The result is a collection of instrument presets ranging from analog and digital classics to modern sound design creations. With the exception of the drum sounds, which come from Live's built-in library, all of the other sounds in this song come from the Retro Synths collection. I modified most of the presets from their original versions, so I'll go through each track and explain a bit about what I did. The first two tracks are the drums, which as mentioned, use sounds from Live's factory library. The Blips track uses a Retro Synths preset called Sforzando, which can be found in the Opus Instrument Racks folder. The Opus presets are based on samples from the Moog Opus 3. This rack has been modified from the original preset to give the sustain macro a wider range. It now reduces the sustain level of the instruments in the rack to 0. Additionally, the decay macro has been automated in the set, so the sound's duration constantly changes over time. The synth is then run through a resonators effect to add additional pitches to the sequenced line, as well as a simple delay effect to apply stereo tempo sync delays. The Stabs track uses a retro synth preset called Bright Strings, which can be found in the Vintage 80s Classics folder. The Vintage 80s Classics presets use samples from an Oberheim Matrix 6. The samples in the original preset have a rather slow attack, characteristic of analog string sounds. In order to turn this into a stab sound, each sample's start point was adjusted to begin somewhat later, after the sample had reached its full volume. The synth is then run through a compressor, which is triggered by the sidechain signal from the kick drum on the drums track. Here's how it sounds with the compressor turned off, and then back on again. The Blip kick track uses the TB Ultralight Retro Synths preset, which can be found in the TB Instrument Racks folder. The TB presets sample from the classic Roland TB303. This sound hasn't been modified at all from its original preset, but 3 of its macros undergo continuous automation. The resulting sound, however, owes much of its character to the compressor on the track. This has been set to fairly extreme settings, both to restrict the dynamic range and to increase the percussive quality of the attack. Following the compressor, an audio effect rack splits the incoming signal into 3 frequency bands before applying subtle and different effects to the individual bands. To compare, here's how it sounds with the effects turned off. The bass track is built around the CZ Togue Bass Retro Synths preset, which can be found in the Phase Form Volume 1 Instrument Racks folder. These presets use samples from the Casio CZ1, a phase distortion synthesizer from the mid-80s. The original preset has been adjusted in a number of subtle ways. The drive macro, which controls the level of the saturator effect, has been turned all the way down. The Simpler's notch filter has been enabled, and the filter frequency automated. The filter is additionally modulated by the incoming note velocity. Additionally, the bass is run through a compressor, which is triggered by the sidechain signal from the kick drum on the drums track. The Strings track uses the Retro Synths preset called Nanopad, which can be found in the P50 Linear Instrument Racks folder. These presets sample from the classic Roland D50. This preset has been heavily modified from the original version. As with the Stabs track, each sample's start point was adjusted to begin somewhat later, resulting in a very abrupt attack. The chord type macro has been disabled, and the tuning of the chord MIDI effect changed, so that a minor third and a perfect fifth are added above the incoming note. The pan amount macro has been turned down, reducing the heavy stereo effect of the original. The filter cutoff and resonance are continually automated. As on several other tracks, the synth is then run through a compressor, which is triggered by the sidechain signal from the kick drum on the drums track. The delay loop track uses a live clip called 80 Multipog Sync from the Multi-Voice folder within the Modular Patterns collection. These live clips are phrases sampled from a variety of boutique modular synthesizers. This clip has been transposed up a bit more than 1 octave, both to make it brighter and to make it more in tune with the rest of the arrangement. Additionally, the clip's warp mode was changed from Tones to Complex Pro to better preserve its character after transposition. The clip was then quantized to straight 16th notes. Finally, a volume clip envelope was applied that silenced all but the 4th bar of the phrase. Although all of the non-drum sounds in this set come from the Retro Synths collection, they've all been personalized either subtly or drastically to fit the nature of the song. Here are some ways in which you could make your own version using only Retro Synths sounds. Try replacing the modified versions of the presets with the original versions or with entirely new presets. Live's hot swap buttons make it easy to locate presets in the library. Try recording an entirely new arrangement from the session view clips provided. Even from the same basic materials, you can come up with any number of song forms. If you like the sounds in this collection, you might be interested in another Puremagnetik live pack called Machine Kits. To learn more about Machine Kits, visit ableton.com/machinekits.